Referendums could be on the way next year on some sweeping changes for Alberta. A report by the Fair Deal panel recommends scrapping the RCMP and the Canadian pension plan in favour of a made-in-Alberta solution and pushing harder for equalization changes. Bill Fortier reports.
Failure to get a fair deal for Alberta is not an option.
Strong words from the Premier and written in this report from the provincial Fair Deal panel. It was assembled late last year to look into how Alberta can raise its voice in Ottawa.
Some 65% of Albertans told us they did not feel Alberta was getting a fair deal.
The report comes following several hearings and thousands of submissions from Albertans. It calls for a new Alberta Police Service to replace Mounties and a provincial pension plan in place of the CPP. And it calls for a continued push for changes to equalization payments that could result in a $2.4 billion rebate for Alberta.
People felt that the equalization formula as it is today, the system is not fair to Albertans.
The Premier is promising a referendum next year, even though the results would not force the issue since transfer payments are under federal jurisdiction.
Equalization is one of those things that we like to complain a lot about. What impact will that have? Remains to be seen.
None of these strategies have support of a majority of Albertans.
The panel says the Alberta separation movement, dubbed Wexit, was brought up in surveys and hearings, but the report does not support the movement.
It was not the majority. It was conclusively not the majority of Albertans who felt that way.
The report suggests more Alberta in Ottawa in terms of MPs and more Ottawa in Alberta when it comes to federal government offices and services. For now, the Premier not committing to either the Alberta pension plan or police. Both will be studied, with reports expected next year. Bill Fortier, CTV News, Edmonton.